Super cruise. This is a term which we are generally hearing as of now when we are talking about engines. We are talking about engine for LCA Tejas Mark 1, Tejas Mark 2, medium combat aircrafts, and so many things right now. But why we are so much focusing on Super cruise, guys? First of all, we need to understand what is Super cruise. So I'll tell you what is Super cruise and why it is so important, and some of the factors which basically do affect it. But for that, please watch the whole video so that you do understand it. So I will try and explain you in short. So please listen carefully so that you know what exactly it is. So guys, there are a lot of pressure points on an aircraft, especially if I'm talking about the airframe and the engine. Super cruise capability is the capability at which the aircraft is able to fly at supersonic speeds, not using its afterburner. So guys, that is specific to an engine aircraft. Like I would say that the engine is a specific thing which has to be fitted on an aircraft. Many times people doesn't know but for the production of the airframe, if I'm talking about, so you have to select an engine and then the airframe is made based on that engine, so that how you have to design, because intakes also plays a major role, because once your aircraft is going at supersonic speed, so there is a wave drag. So as soon as aircraft it's doing a transition and it's hitting the Mach 1 speed, or I would say when it is hitting the speed of sound, so there is a barrier. So there is another kind of drag which is known as wave drag, which is hitting the intake, and the pressure is also hitting the blades inside the turbines. So the temperature increases, the temperature of the air at the intake also it increases, and it gives a more, I would say that, because you need more thrust to break that barrier, you need more thrust to overcome that drag. So for that you have to engage the afterburners, and once you engage the afterburners, obviously you will get more thrust, but the penalty is on many things. The main penalty is, first of all, your engine, your IR signature, your heat signature increases, and enemy can easily know that you are there. So the sound that you make is easily heard from quite a lot of distance, maybe from quite a lot of height also. After that, there's so much of pressure, the abrupt burning of the fuel in your engine, that also has to be streamlined, so that your engine doesn't malfunction. And excessive afterburner use, it causes the penalties on fuel usage. The fuel usage increases by 40%, 50% also, depends from it depends on the engine's capability, basically the how the engine is designed. Your airframe is also getting so much of pressure. So if an aircraft is maintaining that speed and it is using afterburner for longer times, then many times that engine or many of the parts of the aircraft, they needs to be replaced after a particular period of time, or I would say after that sortie. So that's why we are talking about Super cruise. Super cruise defines a lot many things. First of all, your aircraft's capability to get up in the air and fly for a longer time. The fuel consumption, definitely, if I'm talking about Super cruise, the aircraft uses fuel a bit more than your normal fuel consumption. When we talk about SFC, specific fuel consumption, it uses a bit more of fuel, but not that as much as it is required with the help of an afterburner. So your aircraft is super cruising, it is giving you more speed, it can get up in the air and cover long distances, you can fire your weapons. And the best part is, when we are talking about super cruise, so many aircraft can super cruise. Like we talk about F-22 Raptor, it can super cruise at somewhere speed of Mach 1.8, Eurofighter Typhoon at around Mach 1.2, and Rafale can super cruise at a speed of around 1.4 Mach. Altitude matters a lot for these, and the aircraft structure also matters a lot, because the airframe, how your weapons, your payload is. So every aircraft is different. So many times we say aircraft can super cruise, but aircraft is not able to carry any weapon system with itself. Then what is the point of a super cruise? Definitely, guys. So for that, if I'm talking about F-22 Raptor, good aircraft, and it has got its weapon bay inside its belly. So actually the drag on pylons and weapons is very less, so it can carry more weapons inside itself and can super cruise at a speed of 1.8 Mach without using afterburner. Pretty good. Same thing goes with Rafale. Rafale can still use an external drop tank and can use air-to-air missiles, maybe four or two. I'm not very much sure, but generally I think it's four missiles. Uh, Eurofighter Typhoon, it cannot carry any drop tanks. So now you see how this becomes so important. So first of all, in a scenario where your buddy or partner needs your air support, so you get into the air and super cruise, where your fuel consumption is also less. With less amount of fuel and with more amount of weaponry, you can reach there and you know, get into action, help your buddy, help your partner, help them get back home safe. And if it has to come to a dogfight, you can drop your drop tanks and you can engage, but the penalty is on the fuel. So that's why these are some of the points wherein speed is important, but in the meantime, to escape from the enemy, from his radar, the heat signature, that reduces the extra amount of pressure on your airframe. The extra amount of pressure on your engine also decreases. People will show, I can show you that in a diagrammatic system, but I don't think that will be feasible and you will not find it so interesting. But if possible, in next video I'll show you exactly how this system is working. So why we are talking about afterburners, because afterburner will definitely give you a push. And one more thing, the most important thing for super cruise, that the weapon system you are carrying, and once you fire a missile on any other aircraft, if I'm talking about air to air also or air to ground, see, first of all, the wave drag which was there, once you were overcoming the speed of sound, at that time that drag is not there on the missile. So definitely when missile is using its own system, so missile is at a high altitude, it is flying faster and it reaches to its target faster, so that the enemy has less time to react. Because if I'm firing a missile at a lower level, and when missile at from subsonic speed, it has to cruise to supersonic speed. So for that, missile has to use its own energy, and when it is crossing that sound barrier, quite a lot of energy is used in crossing that barrier. So time it is taking to reach to the enemy aircraft is more. And in the meantime, when aircraft is already super cruising, it is across the speed of sound, it is flying at some Mach 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, and at that time you fire a missile, it has already overcome that drag, it is moving faster, the enemy has got less reaction time, and definitely you are at the front foot. So guys, that's it, that's a basic difference. And not, I would say, the difference, I would say, that is the requirement to understand once we talk about the super cruise. And air intakes are very much, the design of the aircraft and air intakes is a big deal. That's why once it comes into play and we talk about an engine, so we are talking about LCA Mach 1 Alpha. So yes, definitely they are using G414 engine, and the aircraft, the engine uh, gets the ability to super cruise. So but again, the designing is the most important part, which will help us to use the engine to its full potential, because many times the aircraft has got the airframe limitations, because of which engine is producing more amount of thrust and the airframe is not able to sustain it. So guys, both things complement each other, so we have to take care of the design also, and we have to take care of the engine also. So right amount of thrust and right airframe will give the best out of it. So guys, stay tuned and wait for some of the interesting facts. I'll come back soon. Guys, take care, bye bye, and Jai Hind.